Okay, so we know we have to make adjustments to the pre-populated spreadsheet over there on the left-hand side, 2 columns, the adjustments to the right-hand side of it. So here's an adjustment. You're taking 8 out of PPE and you're putting it into intangible assets. So if you know your double entry, that's fine. You're debiting intangibles, you're crediting PPE. That's how you do it. Not really too many difficulties there. But what I want you to see is, for those of you who are not so keen on double entry, I've split this into assets in pink and liabilities and equity in blue. Okay. Now, if there's a movement within assets or within one category, like assets or liability and equity, but here there's just a movement within the same category, then you should always have a positive and a negative. But if, like for this contingent consideration, you know you need to add 2 onto goodwill and 2 onto other equity, well, then you've gone between categories. And therefore, they both need to be the same sign. It's just double entry, debit goodwill, credit other equity. So we needed to add on NCI to goodwill. So we debited NCI, we credit NCI, debit goodwill, credit NCI in the liabilities. So when you're in the same category, so when you're all in the pink, you want 1 positive, 1 negative. If you go in between categories, between the pink and the blue, they both need to be the same sign. It's just how the double entry works. So removal of a bargain purchase, you know that you want to take 3 out of goodwill, and you know it needs to come out of retained earnings. And you might think to yourself, oh, is that -3? Is it a +3? Well, it's gone between the 2 categories, so you know it needs to be the same sign. Land moved to goodwill. So land, you need to take 3 out of that, and you're going to put it into goodwill, which is again all in the same category, so you know that they should be different signs. Increase in value, you know you wanted to increase to goodwill, you know that should go to retained earnings, but you don't know which sign. Well, you do because it's gone between the categories, so it's the same sign. NCI here, goodwill, NCI, it's gone between the categories, same sign. Let me recap then. So, -8, +8, okay? 2 different signs, and that's because we're within the same category. We are within the pink, within the assets. Could have been you're also within the liabilities, within the blue, but if you're within the same category, you want 1 positive, 1 negative. If, though, you're moving between categories, like there, they need to be the same sign. Always the same sign. You need to get the sign the right way round, but that should be quite straightforward. But it's just a little check for you. You know if you're moving between categories, it's always the same sign. If you're moving within the same category, you want 1 positive and 1 negative.